first I want to thank everyone for being here. I know my father admired everyone he worked with, all his friends, of course, family. So I'm really, really grateful that you took the time to be here to celebrate his life. And he did live a wonderful life. As you can see family here, he built just such a loving community, friends, loved ones. He did a lot in his 65 years. So having said that, I know that I'm supposed to try to be concise, but it is a little difficult to do with all that he did accomplish in his life. So my eulogy would I'm adding in a little bit of a biography of him, so hopefully I don't go too long, but as stated, when he was born in 1968, my father was a bit of a very longed for, prayed for surprise, because he would always tell me about how his mother was 46 years old when he was born. He was an only child, and I say surprise, but also his dad was 60, so he was definitely a surprise, but they very, very much wanted a child. Did not think that was going to happen, but God definitely blessed them with my father. So that was how he came into the world, and I believe that's sort of how he came into everybody's lives. No one expected him, but he came just rushing in, talking, just making everybody laugh, and making everybody grateful that he was in their lives, and he was grateful for all of you as well. So he had quite the presence. He was very chatty, as most of you know. And back to the story of him being born to older parents. That's, he had such a sense of humor. He would always call himself an old baby because his parents were older, and he always had a funny way of saying things. He did grow up mostly in Live Oak, and it was he just always said so picturesque sort of childhood, and he absolutely kept the same friends up until the day he said goodbye. So he had, of course, new friends as well, but he just always kept people really close, and they always wanted him in their lives, and he wanted them, and it was just so beautiful that he could just maintain all of those friendships. And I didn't know too much about before, he met my mother, but I do know he would tell us all about Oklahoma. We always heard about Oklahoma and how wonderful it was, and working on the oil rig, and the portion sizes, and how cheap it was at the diners, and he just would go on and on about that. It's probably one of the most repeated stories, but he loved it. But he made his way back to California, and I'm thankful for that, because he met my mother, he had children, and he built a life here. So luckily he did decide to hold himself from that place and back closer to his parents. So he was actually, I consider, pretty young when when my mom and dad met, and then they had 3 children together, and he was just always the word that I think of the most with him is strong character, strong morals, strong opinions. It was a surprise when physically at the end he wasn't so strong, but he just always was, his character just so strong. And 65 years is, it's a little bit sooner than we expected, but we do absolutely know that we will see him again. And my dad was quite a bit, he was a homebody, and he loved just to be at home and watch like the Andy Griffith show, Green Acres, and when he did go out, it was always fishing. Fishing was something that he absolutely loved, and he loved to tinker. He always wanted to be busy. So when they say rest in peace, and I know that it definitely has meaning, but I don't know if he wants to rest, but he's definitely found peace. But my dad would always stay so busy. If he ran out of things, like during the pandemic, he would would find a new slab of concrete that was needed, and he would pour that with, you know, his friends, and so he just always kept so busy. So he did, you know, he raised, my mom and dad raised 3 kids, and I know that he was so proud of all of them. I'm actually so used to just calling him Grampy. He definitely, you know, filled that role. He was just the best grandfather that anybody could ask for. He loved all his kids, all his grandkids. He just was the best and spent so much time. I know he was looking forward to time and retirement. He was so close to retirement, but again, I know that we will see each other again. So, and he definitely, you know, of course, he was an x-ray tech, and I was so proud of him that he accomplished that, and he was always such a hard worker and had such good friends at each hospital that he worked at. But, you know, he did absolutely live a great life. He was always so active and wanted to accomplish so much, and even when he got weaker, he was still wanting to work hard, and he just talked about getting back to work. He wanted to get back to work, and he absolutely was confident that he would be able to. But we're so proud of the life that he lived. Again, he was just such a strong person in every single way. So again, I thank everybody who came today to honor him and to celebrate his life. And now I'll leave this to Elizabeth.